This here's WWE Cult Fan here with another DVD and Blu-ray update. It has been over a month since I did the last one. I believe I did August last. So I gotta show what I got for the month of September as well as October. So I'll get things started off with the DVDs. We have Batman, the animated series, Volume 2. This is of course the famous series that had Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker. Really fun series. I remember watching that as a kid and still love watching it to this day. Next, from WWE, we have Battleground, which was main evented by Dean Ambrose defending his championship against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And this was right before the brand split. Next, we have Season 7 of NCIS Los Angeles. Really fun show to watch, starring Chris O'Donnell and LL Cool J. And then from Warner Brothers, another TV show, we have the complete first season of Supergirl. So far, I've only watched the pilot episode, but hopefully it can find its audience on CW. Next, we have from Walmart this is actually an EP and CD and DVD set from Walmart, but we have Taylor Swift, Beautiful Eyes, which includes some of her music videos and performances of some of her songs on some award shows, etc. Now onto the Blu-rays. First from Fox, we have James Franco in 127 Hours, directed by Danny Boyle. This was based on a true story. From HBO, we have Bryan Cranston and Anthony Mackie in All the Way, which is about Martin Luther King and Lyndon B. Johnson, about civil rights. Next, from Fox, this is a really, really good miniseries. I hope they continue to have similar shows like this on FX. But we have American Crime Story, People vs. O.J. Simpson. I remember the Bronco chase. I remember the whole court case. That it was just, and you'll look back on it as just one big fiasco. Next, from New Line Cinema, we have a Western with Viggo Mortensen, Ed Harris, and Renee Zellweger, Appaloosa. I've heard a lot of good things about this, so look forward to checking this out. And from Warner Brothers, we have the complete fourth season of Arrow. I would have gotten the steelbook of this at Best Buy, but yet just couldn't find the time to go to the nearest Best Buy. However, for this next one, I did make an exception. From WWE, we have Brock Lesnar, Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat, which is one of those Blu-ray sets that they release just featuring about a featured superstar. In this case, it's Brock Lesnar. Includes matches with The Undertaker, Triple H, and so on and so forth. Next, from MGM, we have a baseball movie, which, by the way, congratulations, Chicago Cubs winning the World Series. Anyway, we have Kevin Costner in Bull Durham. Next, from Marvel, or Disney, however you want to put it, probably the biggest movie this summer, Captain America: Civil War. Even though it's a Captain America, as I was about to say before my camera cut off, but even though it's a Captain America movie, it feels like an Avengers movie, even though they're fighting themselves. Next, from Fox, we have Ed Helms and John C. Reilly in Cedar Rapids. I picked it up. It was only $5. Never seen it. Next, from Lionsgate, we have John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson in Cell, based off the Stephen King novel. Never read the novel, but I remember reading seeing the book at my high school reading the synopsis, and then I heard they were going to make a movie, so I figured why not check it out. From Warner Brothers, we have Kevin Hart. Not a big fan of his stuff. You see him a lot, but I am a fan of the guy that he co-stars in this movie, Dwayne Johnson. We have Central Intelligence. Next, from Fox, we have the movie Aragon. There again is $5. Figure check it out. Next, from Amazon Studios, we have Michael Shannon, Kevin Spacey in Elvis and Nixon, based off a true story when Elvis met with Richard Nixon to try to join the CIA. As ridiculous as it sounds, but that was the whole story about that movie. Next, from Sony, we have I forget what year this was. One way, we have the re-release of Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. I think it's like the 15th anniversary of this movie. I'm not entirely sure, but yet. Anyway, Final Fantasy. Next, from Warner Brothers, we have The Flash, Season 2. Looking forward to check this out. Next, from Scream Factory, we have the John Carpenter movie, The Fog. This is a lot better than that one movie with, what was it? The guy that played Clark Kent in Smallville. Yeah, if you're going to watch The Fog, watch this one, the original. Next, from STX Entertainment and Universal, we have Matthew McConaughey in Free State of Jones. Next, from Sony, this movie is just hilarious. It was well done. I know a lot of people were concerned, like, oh, it's an all-female cast, it's going to be a remake. But Paul Feig, my hat's off to you. Ghostbusters. This is a very funny movie. Check it out. Even if you're a fan of the original movie, you'll like this one. Speaking of Paul Feig, well, from Fox, I have The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. I think I got that in the 788 bin at Walmart. And next, from Sony, produced by Ivan Reitman, original director of Ghostbusters, we have Heavy Metal, based off the Heavy Metal magazine. Next, from WWE, we have The History of the Hardcore Championship, 24/7. This chronicles the entire history of the Hardcore Championship and shows most of the, well, I shouldn't say most of the matches, but a lot of the matches from the entire time that the Hardcore title was around. Next, from Fox, we have another sequel that took like 20 years to make, but we have the Best Buy exclusive steelbook of Independence Day: Resurgence. I have yet to actually watch this movie. Haven't heard really any positive or negative reviews, but look forward to check that movie out. Next, from WWE Studios and Lionsgate, we have Edge and Lana, or C.J. Perry, which is her real name, in Interrogation. Next, from Scream Factory, we have the 80s classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I definitely had to pick this up because I know the previous release by MGM was just not that great. But of course, Shout Factory and Scream Factory, they remaster these movies, and very well done. Next, from Disney, we have The Jungle Book. I saw this movie in the theaters, and I really liked it. Very well done by Jon Favreau, and the animals look pretty good. They really do. Next, from Warner Brothers, we have a Clint Eastwood war double feature. Kelly's Heroes and Where the Eagles Dare. And both of these movies were originally released by MGM and directed by Brian G. Hutton. Who doesn't love some Clint Eastwood? Next from Universal, we have The Last Starfighter. Typical 80s, excuse me, camera cut off again, but a sci-fi movie from the 80s. There you go, sci-fi movie from the 80s. Next from Fox, we have Zac Efron, Anna Kendrick, Adam Devine, or Devine, however you pronounce his name, and Aubrey Plaza. Mike and Dave need wedding dates. Basically, Bad Grandpa meets Pitch Perfect. Next from Sony, we have George Clooney and Julia Roberts in Monty Monster, directed by Jodie Foster, which she is also in it. Next from MGM, we have Charlie Sheen and Michael Biehn, Navy SEALs. That's a $5 movie. Just picked it up to check it out. Now, here's a movie I got for $5 that I remember watching as a kid. I have not seen it in a long time, but we have Macaulay Culkin and Christopher Lloyd in The Pagemaster, directed by Joe Johnston. Next from Sony, we have Mel Gibson in The Patriot. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but looking forward to watching it again. This one, surprisingly, I also found for $5, which, by the way, all these $5 titles I found at my local Marsh supermarket, and they were all unopened. This one is a 80s classic with John Cusack, Cameron Crowe's Say Anything. This is actually the new release. Well, not brand new, but this is the fairly recent release. Next from Warner Brothers, we have Scooby-Doo and WWE, Curse of the Speed Demon, which this has, I'm trying to think who plays, the Shaggy's played by Matthew Lillard, who did the live-action movies, and this also has the voices of many of the WWE superstars, including The Undertaker and Triple H, and etc., so there's quite a few of them. This next one from Sony, I remember watching the trailers and it just seems like Jaws to me. That's what it is, but it's starring a woman, which I have no problem with. This slipcover to this Blu-ray I just really like. It's Blake Lively in The Shallows, and how it just turns to red. The water just turns red and she disappears. That's pretty cool. Next from WWE, we have SummerSlam 2016, the biggest party of the summer, featuring the matches of Brock Lesnar facing Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose defending his heavyweight championship against Dolph Ziggler, and Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins for the then new Universal Championship. Next, from Paramount, we have the Best Buy exclusive steelbook of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows. This one didn't do as well as the last one, but I didn't see this one in theaters like I wanted to, but I figured what the heck, just get the Blu-ray and the DVD, and this also comes with the masks, just like the previous release did. Now, this next one, this is released by Shout Factory. Many fans have been waiting for this movie to come out to Blu-ray in the U.S. for a long time. It has been available in Australia. I believe it was region free. But anyway, what movie am I talking about? Transformers the movie. Thank you, Shout Factory. Thank you very much. And of course, this also comes with a digital copy. But anyway, it has both the widescreen and full screen version. Probably the reason why it took so long was because of all the music rights. Yeah, Shout Factory and Hasbro had to get all the rights, which is now by all the music's owned by Sony. But hey, what can I say? At least now it's available on Blu-ray here in the U.S. Now this next one, I saw this movie in the theaters, and I don't play the video game that this is based off of, but yeah, I thought this movie was actually okay. And it's Warcraft. And this is the Walmart exclusive steelbook. And it's also a double-sided cover. Of course, it opens up, well, like just how I showed you. I thought it was an okay movie. Not great, but not the worst thing I've ever seen. And then finally, from Fox, we have X-Men Apocalypse. This one didn't perform as well as they were hoping, but I still am looking forward to checking this out. And I like what they did with the case. Instead of going traditional blue, they went with a gray and removed the Blu-ray logo and put the X. Yeah. Well, anyway, that does it for me for both September and October. So, I hope to see you in November.